Okay, we are back again. Yet another podcast. Even when you thought you were sick of us, we keep going and going and going. Hell 22 here once again with Murmaider.
What's going on, guys?
We got a couple bands to talk about, and then we want to give you guys a heads up on some new bands that we think you should be listening to. We did this once before, but we're going to rehash the idea and do it again.
Yeah, always new stuff.
So, let me get one of my reviews out of the way this week. I did a review for a band called Intervals. Now, Intervals is a band that fills that style of music known as Gent, D-J-E-N-T, which is basically Meshuggah ripoff.
Yeah.
A lot of heavy chugging guitars, off-time beats. I mean, basically it's just like, hey, we want to be Meshuggah, but we're not. They're a completely instrumental band, no lyrics, no vocals, and they ride the border between good and bad. Because some of the songs are literally the same chugging riff for 4 minutes and just a guy playing over the top, which is basically nothing but a, hey, look how fast I can play, look how awesome I am kind of thing. But then the next song is, a good 3.5 minutes of like solid, cohesive music. The chugging is the rhythm, the guy playing the solo is over the top, almost like Animals as leaders, where, it comes together. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sure, where this band is going to go from here. Some good, some bad. I really don't know. I'm hoping that they lean more towards the songwriting and less away from the Meshuggah worship on their next album. I mean, this was only a 5-song EP, so, it's really just the start, but this could be enough to turn a lot of people off to them in the future.
Yeah.
Or, if you also worship Meshuggah, maybe this is enough for you to love them. Speaking of not good things, Murmaider, you did a review this week for a band called Black Chalice.
Yeah.
And you're looking at me like, man, this is a great album.
Yeah, the album is Submission by Black Chalice, and it's a solo artist that's the band, another one-man band. And it's really bad.
All right.
I have to say, it looked interesting at first, the description I read of it, and when I went to listen to it, it's listed as like a doom type of slower doom black metal genre, and the first song, Deluge, it was decent. It was like a long intro, like a 4-minute intro, no lyrics or anything, no vocals. And it was all just like soothing guitars and different like psychedelic melodies and whatnot. And I really, I kind of liked it. The quality was a little low, which I figured maybe they're going for like a black metal type of sound. But as you get into it with some of the other songs, it's pretty clear that it was just recorded horribly, and it just got worse and worse. It was just. It was only a couple songs on the album, and each one just had like the same riffs in them, and they would repeat for like a good 4 minutes straight before changing to anything else. Now they were trying to go for like this progressive side where they would, make their songs like 10-11 minutes long, and but like I said, it could have done better if they just cut out a good 5 or 6 minutes of each song.
Now we've heard bands like that before. The Howling Void is a good example. If you're going to have a 12-minute song, there better be something in that 12 minutes that makes you want to continue listening. It can't just be the same riff over and over again.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe he has to... I just feel like he needs to just add some creativity to his music. Because it was just way too basic,
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll look to do something else. I guess he's in several different bands, or he has several different projects, so maybe this is the weakest of them all.
Yeah.
I guess we just don't know.
Well, let's move on to another one of yours that you did last week. We'll go with Avelion.
Yeah. Now, this band is somewhat familiar in that the drummer is actually the drummer for one of the bands you've been into lately, Pursuing the End. They are a straight-up power metal band. And, I mentioned in the review that not all metal can be like doom and gloom. It can't just all be depressive lyrics and black metal style. I think we've gotten away from our power metal roots, son.
Yeah.
And I think this was a good way to get back into it. It felt good to listen to this because it was really, high-speed guitars. The keyboards are all over the place. That really rapid drumming. And I think it was exactly what I wanted. It's only 4 songs, but all the 4 songs are great. They have, the ballad. They got to throw in a ballad there, but the ballad's good.
Right.
But the last song on the album is a song called "Follow Me." It was really great. The keyboards, they really stood out like a Stradivarius type of keyboard solos and stuff. It was really, really impressive, and I think it's a really good start for this band. This is their first offering, 4 songs. That's all they've got, and I just think it's only going to get better from here. If you're into standard power metal, like the European power metal, like Blind Guardian, Rhapsody, Stradivarius, then you will like these guys. I think it'd be pretty sad to miss out on them. Now, one of the things I will say is that the only criticism I have of the EP is actually the vocals, and by no means do I mean they're bad. The guy just feels like he's on a short leash. Like they told him, like, don't get too crazy, just keep it. So sometimes you feel like he should just let out like a really high pitched, over the top vocal, and he just kind of keeps it to himself.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to just, what did John Elway tell Tim Tebow to do? Pull the trigger. I'm just waiting for them to pull the trigger next time, and hopefully we'll see some stuff from them in the near future. The one last one I wanted to mention from this week is actually, I'll keep it short because there's some sad news attached to this. It's the band Bare Infinity.
Oh yeah.
And they also released a 5-song EP. It's called The Passage, and I'm going to tell you that this is one of the most amazing collections of 5 songs I've ever listened to in all the years I've been listening to metal. It's female fronted, but it's still heavy. There's parts that are almost like a melodic death metal, but with female vocals attached to it. Horns, strings, symphonics, you name it, it's all there.
Yeah.
And it was so powerful, I was blown away. The lead singer's name apparently is Angel, which I thought was pretty fitting considering how her voice is like. There are a couple songs where she does a full-on operatic vocal, which makes Tarja look like a piece of shit.
Seriously.
Wow. I was just really impressed. I have nothing but good things to say, but unfortunately, as I was listening to it, the EP came out in August, and I just got around to reviewing it. So I'm listening to it, and I'm checking out their site for information, and as I'm checking out their MySpace, they literally just posted that they broke up. They decided they can't work together anymore, and they broke up. So they're all moving on to their own stuff, but this is something, man. This is an album that everyone, I think, should hear. If you're a fan of metal, this is a good place to go.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. Bare Infinity, The Passage. And just like David Lee Roth sang in a Van Halen song, you can't get this stuff no more. So you thought I was going to say tattoo, but no, can't get this stuff no more. So anyway,
I thought that's all he says is tattoo nowadays.
Yeah, tattoo. Anyway, so as I mentioned before, in September we did a list of the 10 artists you need to hear, and we each picked 5 new bands that you might not have heard of.
Yep.
And we picked some good ones. Brymir, Tersivel, Project Masquerade, Skogen. We had a lot of bands. I kind of felt like we were ahead of the curve for once. So we're going to do this again. We've got some new bands to talk about. Murmaider, why don't you get us started? What's on your list?
I guess I'll start off with the band October.
Okay. Which
I reviewed a little while ago. Their self-titled album that is the one I reviewed, and it's just some fantastic sludge metal.
Okay.
Everything from, I'm a big fan of Mastodon, but I definitely put them up there next to like Crowbar and Baroness, and I really enjoyed a lot of their stuff. The one song on there, Woman, was like my favorite song on the entire album. It kind of reminded me of one of Mastodon's songs off of the Hunter. Some of the lyrics almost sounded there. Some of it was similar, but the style was really good. But overall, it was a good album. A lot of heavy, different drum patterns that were run through, and some really good guitar work. So, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely an album that I go back to now, and I would definitely suggest it to whoever hasn't listened to it to check it out.
Interesting. I listened to quite a bit of it, and you're right. It's just some straight up sludge. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because we need that, and I think that was a genre that neither of us had really explored
Right.
until this past year, and I think we ended up finding a lot of great sludge bands, and it's
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to get into that.
So which one did you have for us?
Let's see. I wanted to start with Eumeria,
Okay.
which is a band who has members both in the U.S. and in Europe. It's kind of split, but they released their debut album, Rebel Mind, and these guys make progressive power metal that blows away 99% of the progressive power metal that's out right now. I would say that last year I enjoyed this album more than I enjoyed the Symphony X album and a lot of the major progressive bands. Lead singer Johnny Tatum is just absolutely outrageous. The guy's got great range, and he's got a real great, he's got power in his voice, which so many guys just like we were just talking about, where the singer of Avelion just kind of lacked that over the top power. Well, this guy's got it in spades, and I mean this album was just absolutely insane, and it had everything you could want from progressive power metal. It had the guitars, the drumming was outstanding, every piece of it fit together perfectly. So I know they're a band that I really think more people are going to hear about in the very near future, and I really hope so, because they deserve some praise.
Yeah.
Now, Murmaider, what's next on your list?
The next one that I was going to mention that everyone should check out is the new Pursuing the End EP, Withering, which just came out this year. Very beginning.
It's actually not out yet.
Oh.
It actually comes out, I believe it's the end of the month.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
We're ahead of the curve on that one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we were able to get a little sample of this and go through the 3 tracks, and I have to say I loved it. I mean, going back when we first discovered them and listened to their other album, Dawn of Expiation.
I always thought you misspelled it. It was supposed to be Expiration.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I kept looking at it every time I reread it. I was like, wait, am I doing something wrong here? But I mean, going back to that album and remembering how much that one blew me away with their orchestrated music was just amazing. And Withering, they clearly just kept up with it, and if anything, became even better. The sound quality is better. The recording's a lot cleaner, a lot neater, and on top of that, I mean, like I said, the 3 tracks that I was able to listen to, the first one was just an introduction, but it had some really awesome orchestrated sounds in it, and really just I hate to keep using the example, but it really just sounds like something from like a Lord of the Rings movie. It really did.
Yeah.
It really captures like this image that I could just picture in a movie like that. It's very epic. And then on top of that, the other 2 songs, Withering was the second song, and Glimpse of Forbidden was the third song. They hold like a dark tone to them, but at the same time come up and like have like this uplifting sound with the horns and the strings that they include in it, and the vocals are just they're gorgeous female vocals and devilish growling sounds, and really enjoyed the EP. So
I know they said they were going for a more operatic feel to this one, and I definitely think they succeeded on that front.
Yep. Yeah, definitely check that one out.